Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is October 26, 2023, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights today, the U.S. markets tumble after most of big tech comes out with their quarterly reports. Looking at today's major economic events, so we start the day out at 2:15 South African time. Out of the European Union, we have a main refinancing rate coming out from the Central Bank of Europe. Also today, we have corporate quarterly earnings for Amazon and Intel. Now looking at the various markets, starting out the Forex symbols, we're watching the Japanese yen trickle lower together with the euro and the GBP. Now looking at the indices, both the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ sold off. Looking at commodities, gold gains while oil bounces, and natural gas actually looking that it's going to break out. Now looking at the stocks, Microsoft broke out on the upside, gapped up after good reports, while the rest of the markets pretty much sold off. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go with the Japanese yen. I'm going to start out with a monthly chart. You could see we are at our lows, very close to it, of 150.67-ish level. We're only about 20 pips away from it. So that is huge, as this is making further lows. Now, what's very disconcerting here is that it's closing lower as well. Now, looking at a weekly chart, you can see it quite clearly. And then looking at a daily, it's just a grind upwards. Now, keep this in mind. If we break 150, we can even go to 2. I know that sounds extreme. Yes, I said to 2. And because once rounded numbers are broken, the next ones are then challenged. So keep that in mind. If we do break 150, we'll go to 160. And that is very disconcerting for the Japanese yen. Now looking at the euro, also trickling lower, as that has pretty much dissipated from that bounce. Now we are coming close to a supportish level. This 105.24-ish level is a supportish level, so keep that in mind. And looking at the GBP, there we go on the GBP, close to our lows back again. Now remember, GBP is acting much weaker than the euro versus the dollar, so I see that as continuing. Now if we break this threshold of 120, we're going to go back down to 110-ish levels, so keep that in mind as well. Now jumping into commodities, gold, look at that, 1987, right back to its highs. And if it does break that 2000-ish level, we'll see it go higher as well. Now this could all be several reasons, okay? Inflation is not in check. There's some issues with unrest in the Middle East. There's also unrest between Russia and Ukraine. That's still happening. There's a lot of things that are under current that are keeping things quite cooked up. Now, looking at natural gas, okay, I've got to jump into it. Look at that, a big gap up here on a daily chart. If we look at a 4-hour chart, you could see that. That is huge. Now, if we break 343, that is major, okay? That may include that we will break out higher. Look, we've been very much in a concentrated area, okay? But if we look at a weekly chart, we could get back to that $9, and that would be just a tremendous trading opportunity for all of us, okay? So keep this on your radar. I don't generally follow natural gas because it's been in such a tight range. Look at that. I mean, on a daily basis, look at that. It's just been very, very choppy, okay? However, looking at it right now with a big gap up and possibly a breakout, this may actually look to something very interesting. Now, jumping into the U.S. markets, let's take a look at the Dow Jones on its lows at 33,000. Look at that. I mean, this was just a layup trade. We sold out from our highs of 35,800 from the summer, and then we bounced a couple of times, 35,300. 34,200, okay? Do you see the point here? Now, if we break this area down here, which we look like we're going to because the stocks are really weak, then we're going to continue selling off, maybe to even 32,000. Now, looking at the NASDAQ, also selling off quite aggressively. First starting out a weekly chart, look at that daily. We broke that line of support of 14,500-ish level, and now we're just continuing to break down. Now we are getting close to our 200-day moving average. If that is breached, then we continue seeing a further sell-off. Now looking at the individual stocks, Microsoft, big gap up. However, did not sustain itself, did not gap and go. It held itself, okay, but did not gap and go. Now, I don't expect it to, Okay, I expect it to follow the rest of the market, which is a sell-off. We look at Amazon, which is coming out with their quarterly earning reports today, 121. I'd be very, very cautious about it. If we look at Google, came out with very devastating news and it gapped down and sold off. So we see some tremendous weakness in that sector. Okay, so not everything is trading in tandem. Now, Intel also has quarterly earning reports on its lows. If we look at AMD, it's also close to its lows. However, NVIDIA did get that bounce, but it's back on its lows again. So the markets are soft right now. Okay, I don't expect them to, fly to and beat expectations. So keep that in mind, that we may see it could be bad news, not so good news, and the market just digesting not so just good news, or just really just neutral news, which would give us a little bit of some respite from selling off. Now, looking at Bitcoin, we are trading at 34,600. It is unchanged. Like I said before, it may still fade, so keep that on your radar as well. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.